Hello, everybody. I'm Michael Fischman, and welcome to the webinar. We've been having a little bit of technical difficulties, so I hope you've been able to get online and everything is working out okay. I see that there's a bunch of you who are online, so I'd like to welcome you today. So just to give you an idea of what we're going to do, well, there was supposed to be somebody who was going to introduce me, and somehow that didn't happen. So I'll introduce myself. I'm Michael Fischman, and I'm a senior member of the Art of Living Foundation. I am a host of a podcast called Back to the Source, and I'm also an author. I've written a memoir called Stumbling into Infinity, which is a book about my experiences on the spiritual path. And you can look on Amazon if you're interested to purchase that book. It's called Stumbling into Infinity. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk a little bit about growth and transformation. And we're going to talk about this ancient body of knowledge called the Vedic tradition and how that can really help one go deep into the experience of personal transformation. And then we're going to do a guided meditation for a little while, for about maybe 20 minutes or so. And then we're going to talk about this amazing program that you will have an opportunity to do, which is in the Detroit area, which is called Unveiling Infinity. So sit back, relax, enjoy, and I am just looking to see if people are writing messages. Can you text and just tell me that you're able to see me and hear me so that I know that everything is working okay? Could you do that? Just send on the chat just a little message. Everything is working. I'm just waiting to see if people. Yes, sir. Yes, we can hear. Okay, perfect. That makes me feel as though we're all connected somehow. Okay, so there are two phenomena in life that allows us to propel forward and allows us to progress in our life. And those two phenomena is having knowledge and also experience. If you only have knowledge and you don't have an experience in life, you have half of it. And the same thing is true if you only have an experience and you don't have knowledge. Also, you don't really seem to move forward in life. So, for example, let's say you've done a lot of research and you've collected a lot of knowledge about cooking, and you went online and you did as much possible research as you could to understand how to cook, and you want to be a great cook for your family. But without the real experience in the kitchen, it's very possible that there could be a total disaster that happens. So only having knowledge is not really going to take you forward and to have the most success. Also, having experience is something that's essential true. Now, you could also have a lot of experience in life, but you may not have knowledge. So if you have a lot of experience and you don't have knowledge, then you're kind of an average individual. To make it to the next level, let's say you want to go beyond being average. How do you get to becoming excellent, fantastic? Whether it's in a sport or a musical instrument that you're learning to play, or perhaps it's in business on some level, you really need to acquire that knowledge that gives you the full information about that particular topic. So most of us usually hire a consultant, or we get a coach, or something to take us to the next level. Just having experience keeps us, as I said, average, and having the real knowledge and the experience really takes us to the next level. So when it comes to knowledge, having the right knowledge is also something that's really essential. You know, many years ago, 20, 30 years ago, the American Medical Association and most cardiologists, what did they tell us? They told us that the most important thing is to lower the cholesterol, have a low-fat diet, perhaps eat more fruits and vegetables, have more carbohydrates, and then you'll have heart health, you have a healthy heart. But now what is modern science telling us? They're telling us just the opposite in direction. They're saying to have more fat in your diet, and that a high fat diet and a low carbohydrate diet is really the secret to having a healthy heart. So which is it? Is it to have a low fat diet? Is it to have a high fat diet? If you have the wrong knowledge, and then that really doesn't take you in the right direction either. And when it comes to knowledge, really it's more important, where does that knowledge come from in your life? So just imagine you just purchased a new house, and it's the most amazing house, and you're just so happy that you purchased this house. But someday something happened. There was some rumble in the earth or something, and the next thing you know, you have these boulders that land in your garage, and you can't even pull your car out of the garage. And how do you feel about these rocks, these boulders that are in your garage? You're probably cursing them. How did these filthy, dirty rocks come into my garage? And how much is it going to cost me to remove these rocks? But your neighbor's walking by, and your neighbor sees these rocks and says to you, you know what? These rocks are the most precious rocks I've ever seen. I don't know how they got into your garage, but inside these rocks, they're diamonds. In fact, you're one of the most wealthy men in the world now because these rocks have landed in your garage. How do you feel about these rocks now? Do you really want to get these rocks removed? Are they really filthy, dirty rocks? Or now they take on a whole different persona? So that knowledge that came to you about your neighbor, somehow you took it really seriously because your neighbor is actually a geologist and he is an expert in the field. So when somebody is an authority, when it comes from a knowledge from a particular authority, your opinion about it and your orientation towards that knowledge is very, very different. So what does all this have to do with personal growth? Well, just look at what we talked about. One needs to have knowledge about the mind, the emotions, also have the experience. Experience of what? Well, how do we settle our own mind? How do we settle our emotions? Well, meditation is the answer. And if you are going to look into the field of meditation, where is that meditation coming from? Is that meditation coming just from an individual who has dabbled in meditation, or is it really coming from an authoritative an authority? And the authority in meditation really is the ancient Vedic wisdom. The Vedas are so ancient we can't even really put a time period on it, but it is a culture that has dived deep into the mind, the emotions, the body, the whole complex that we consider life, and that deep, rich understanding about how to move forward. So I'm sure many of us who are on this call, on this webinar, have had some experience of meditation and have also done some research and had some knowledge of meditation. And what I find that really is essential is to find a teacher who is deeply in that tradition of meditation and is able to give you the subtle refinements of knowledge about meditation. So what I'd like to talk to you about a little bit is my teacher, Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. I've been really quite fortunate in that I've spent a lot of time with Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. In fact, that's what my memoir is about. And Sri Sri is the founder of the Art of Living Foundation. And he has this incredible, should we say, skill that not only is he able to share with individuals knowledge about meditation and the whole body-mind complex, and also give one an experience of meditation, he's actually somebody who can give knowledge and experience simultaneously. So when he's sharing knowledge about something, you can experience it for the very much so much in the moment. And he's going to be coming to the Detroit area to be sharing some ancient knowledge about meditation, which we're going to talk about in a little while. But what I'd like to do in the interim, before we get into this program that's going to be coming up, is I'd like for all of us to have an experience of meditation and guide us through a little guided meditation for a few moments. So one thing that is important to understand is that since many of us have already practiced meditation, or maybe if you're even new to meditation, many of us find that quieting the mind and settling down in meditation sometimes can be a bit of a challenge. So the secret to meditation is learning how to let go. And one thing that can help us very much in the process of meditation is to pay a little attention to our breath. The breath is the connecting link between that inner world of stillness and the outer world of activity. So what I thought we would do today for a few minutes is I'd like to teach you a little breathing technique. And then after that breathing technique, we're going to go right into the experience of meditation. And then afterwards, we're going to talk for a little more about this incredible opportunity that's coming up in Detroit. So one thing I would encourage you all to do, and I can't see you and I can't hear you, so the best thing to do is, first of all, if you could free yourself of all disturbances right now. That means shut off your cell phone. And if there are other disturbances around, like your door is open and you could hear noises and things like that, perhaps you could close the door to the room you're in. And do your very best to set the environment so that you could be as most comfortable as possible. And I also recommend that you sit in a chair, or maybe you sit on the sofa, sit in a way that would be really comfortable for you, where you have some support for your back, and you're free of any distraction, okay? So I'm going to sit back a little bit, and what we're going to do is learn a particular type of breathing technique that's called alternate nostril breathing. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a left palm in the sky, on our lap facing the sky, and our right hand, the index finger and middle finger, you're going to place that in between your eyebrows. And take your thumb and block your right nostril and breathe out on the left side. Now breathe in on the left side and use your ring finger to block your left nostril, release your thumb, and breathe out on the right side. Breathe in on the right. And block your right nostril with your thumb, release your ring finger, breathe out on the left. Breathe in. And switch. Breathe out on the right. Keep your eyes closed. Breathe in on the right. And switch. Breathe out on the left. And continue. Continue at your own pace. You're exhaling on one side, inhaling, and then switching over to the other side. Slow, deep, gradual breath. Take your time. You're not rushing. As the breath comes in, let your attention go up towards the top of your head. And as the breath goes out, bring your attention down towards the base of your spine. Inhalation, your attention goes to the top of the head. Exhalation, your attention goes to the base of the spine. Slow, deep, steady breath. You may find that one nostril is more open, the other nostril is more congested. All your attention is on your breath. You may find your right arm, top of the head, exhalation, base of the spine. Now relax both of your hands. Keep your eyes closed. And just become aware of the state of your mind. Take a long, deep breath in and breathe out. Again, deep breath in, fill your lungs up with air, and breathe out. And become aware of your body. Sitting in your chair, or sitting on the sofa or the floor. You can feel the gravity pulling you into your seat. Now become aware of any tension that you may be holding on to in your body. Let's start with our face. Relax your jaw and your cheek muscles. Your forehead is relaxed. All the muscles in your face are relaxed. Now bring your attention to your feet. Become aware of your legs, your thighs, and your hips. Become aware of your hands and your fingers. And bring your attention to your arms and your shoulders. Become aware of your abdomen. Bring your attention to your chest. Become aware of your throat. Your face and your head. Become aware of your entire body. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. Now bring your attention to your eyes. Right now your eyes are closed, and there's absolutely nothing to see. We're just allowing the mind to go inward for a little while. And become aware of your ears. You can hear my voice. There may be some other sounds in the background. Let all those sounds just be there. For the next few minutes, we're not so concerned about sounds. We're just allowing the mind to relax and go inward for a little while. Now bring your attention to your breath. Each time you're taking a breath in, and each time you breathe out, the breath is brushing against the walls of the nostrils. Become aware of the sensation of your breath. This doesn't require any concentration. We're not trying to control our breath in any way or take deep breaths. Just allow the natural breath to flow. And with each incoming and outgoing breath, become aware of the sensation in your nostrils. You might be aware that there's a temperature to your breath. It may appear to be warm, or it could appear to be cool. You may feel as though your breath is light or heavy. The breath may be long, or it could be short. There may be lots of thoughts in your mind, some restlessness in the body. Keep bringing your attention again and again back to the breath in the nostrils. Each time we take a breath in, energy is coming into our body. And each time we breathe out, there's some relief and relaxation. Have a little extra attention on your exhale. And as you breathe out, relax and let go. There's nothing to accomplish, nothing to gain, nothing to learn or acquire. Just breathe out, relax, and let go. Breath is getting softer and softer, lighter and lighter. Tiny, tiny sips of air brushing against the walls of the nostrils. Effortlessly breathing. As the body relaxes, the mind expands. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. Again, deep breath in and breathe out. And become aware of your body and your surroundings. Again, deep breath in breathe out, and slowly, gradually, at your own time and your own speed, you can start to come back and open your eyes. I hope you enjoyed the meditation. So, what I wanted to talk to you about, we mentioned before, was that there's a wonderful opportunity that's coming up in Detroit where my teacher, Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, is coming, and he's going to be giving a discourse on this ancient Vedic knowledge, which is known as Vigyan Bhairav. It's a discourse between Lord Shiva and his consort, Parvati. And it's a very interesting conversation because Lord Shiva is the transcendent himself, pure consciousness. And he is always in that state of meditation. And his consort, or his wife, Parvati, she wants to meditate, but she doesn't really know how. So there's this conversation where Shiva is giving all these different techniques of meditation, 112 different techniques of meditation for Parvati to have an experience of meditation. So, there's not just one technique of meditation. There are 112 different techniques. We could probably think there's many, many more than that because there's derivatives of that, variations of those 112 techniques. But that's the basis. And we're all so different. We all think different, we act different, we feel different, we like different things. So there can't be just one technique for everybody. This is the only way to meditate. So here's an opportunity where Sri Sri Ravi Shankar is going to have a discourse on this ancient Vedic treaty, and he's going to share with the audience many of these techniques. Of course, he can't go through 112 techniques. That would take a really long time. But some simple techniques that involve the breath, that involve sound, that involve going inward and certain experiences. And that helps an individual who is seeking to learn meditation to give them an idea of what would be the right path for them. And as I mentioned before, Sri Sri is an extraordinary teacher. He has that ability to, I would say, transfer spiritual energy. And by just being in his presence, and when he shares something, especially when it's knowledge, you gain the experience. And I'm going to share a slide with you. Somehow, there it goes. Yes. So Unveiling Infinity. It's happening July 7th and 8th at the Marriott in Detroit. And the admission fee, the registration fee is not very expensive, as you can see. And if you would like to register or you would like more information, this is the registration link. And here is the email address that you can email for more information. And here's the phone number. And Ishita, are you on the line? Is there a way we can hear you speak? I'm not quite sure if that's going to work. She was supposed to be the host of the webinar, but you can write down this information. You could go online and find out more information. And it was very lovely to be with all of you. I hope you found that this webinar was helpful. Perhaps I could take one or two questions. If you're on the chat, I can see if you send me a little question. I'd be happy to answer that. I'm not seeing any text coming through. So, well, I would say then that it's been a pleasure to be with all of you. I would encourage you to go to the next step. And if you're new to meditation, I would just want to leave you with one other thought. Learn to meditate. Meditation, learning to meditate through an app is a first step. Maybe following something on YouTube or a guided meditation, but they're really preliminary ways of getting involved in meditation. Really, you need a teacher, a live teacher, an instructor that can help you go into meditation. And find a meditation technique, a vehicle, a way that works for you. Clearly, for me, being with Sri Ravi Shankar has been extraordinary. And perhaps that would be for you. This would be a really good first step. So again, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to be with all of you. And I hope to see you all in Detroit. Bye-bye now.